Hi and welcome to Newsbeat, your source for deep insight into India's evolving military technology. I'm your host Vicky, and today we are talking about India's very own Astra Mk2 air-to-air missile and recent development that's quietly making headlines. According to emerging reports, the range of Astra Mk2, which was earlier pegged at around 160 km, has now been increased to 200 km. But there is catch. No one really knows what led to this sudden jump, and more importantly, could this push for extended range lead to further delays in the missile induction and operational development? Let's unpack this story first. Okay, the Astra Mk2, which was developed by DRDO, offers a range of around 110 kilometers. This missile can engage targets like for a fighter jet in that range. Astra Mk2, on the other hand, is designed to extend that range, a step closer to the top tier missiles like the American MRAM, especially the D variant. Originally, the Astra Mk2 range was quoted at 140 to 160 kilometers, a significant jump from the Mark 1, which was 110 kilometers. But now, several reliable reports have suggested that the range has been further extended to about 200 kilometers. This naturally questions sounds like a big win, but it raises questions too. In the side that can launch first and from the further away usually has the upper hand. Extending the Astra Mk range from 160 to 200 km means Indian pilots can theoretically engage targets before the adversary can even lock onto it. This means better parity with the PL-15 missile, which boosts off similar range and an edge over the Pakistani MC5 MRAMs used on their F-16. PL-15E were recently involved in clash with India, and we have recovered multiple of PL-15 missiles, nearly intact, some damage, some with damage to their propulsion, some damage to the seeker section. But this missile allowed Pakistan to go for first launch. This is the reason, or this might be one of the reasons why this is happening. But still, we are trying to figure out why this range increases happen. Now, anyway, missiles like Astra Mk2, because of the smaller stature and since they are like less than 4 meters in length, require quite a balancing when it comes to propulsion, weight guidance, accuracy, and energy retention. When small changes, even a small modification, will require major evaluation and revalidation of not only the missile's aerodynamic airframe and electronic systems, but also a lot of other things. So DRDO has not confirmed how this they are going to achieve, or they have already have been working on this increase in the range. Some speculation is that they might be increase in propellant quality or use of newer propellant which might allow the range. Some speculation is also that missile which is around 3.8 meters might go to 4 meters. So increase in length means additional fuel which can carry on board, and it allows it. The extreme not possibility which I will say will not might not happen is that it will come with a triple pulse motor instead of the dual pulse motor. Triple pulse motor, DRDO has been researching it from 2020 onwards. We have heard very less about it. IDR.org was the first to report that there is a possibility of development of a new triple pulse motor based air-to-air missile, but it was not clear at what the missile will be called. We were told that the missile might be called Astra Mk4, which might be in the range of 250 to 300 kilometers, and this will fall around the same range as the Astra Mk3. But Astra Mk3, which will use the ramjet propulsion motor, is on the higher side when it comes to the cost of production, and due to which there was a need felt to have a complementary or supplementary missile system which offers same range but at a lesser price. It's like saying to go for an higher end and lower end variant of same range missiles for the price. So now coming back to how this Astra Mk2 will have 40 kilometers more range. Did DRDO modify the propellant composition? Was the motor redesigned, or simply a classification of performance improvement observed during trials now been formalized? Unfortunately, none of this has been officially confirmed. The only report done by ANI is very vague, I could say. There are no details on how the range will increase, or and how and when this thing will be proven, developed, or tested. And reports of that IF will order 700 new Astra Mk2 is also vague, because if the range is based on the existing system and already the missile has been tested secretly or unknowingly or not publicized, then we can say that orders for 700 missiles make sense and might happen in 2026, by end of 2026, and by 2027 we might see them on Sukhois and Tejas Mark 1 missiles, so fighter jets. The second question is the configuration of the Astra Mk2. The Astra Mk2 uses a dual pulse solid rocket motor, which reignites mid-flight for extended engagement. This technology in the missile allows the missile to conserve energy during the cruise phase and reboost itself in the terminal phase, making it harder for the target to escape. Uh, there have been reports that Astra will get an GAN-based seeker, but it's not clear when we'll get it. We'll be getting in the second batch of the missile or on the first batch itself, or it will be incorporated at the later stages as an improvement over the original missile. So these things are yet to be clarified by the DRDO. Now, other things which I like to mention is that the last 2 years we have been hearing that the missile has been validated for both the modes, lock on before launch and lock on after launch modes. This is what we have been confirmed by our DRDO sources. Now, with the extended range, it's possible that DRDO has optimized the burn profile. That is also one possibility, or upgraded the propellant chemistry to deliver more thrust without increasing the missile size. If this too has been carried out, then we have a winner, because the development time to put this missile into production will be less than 2 years. But if this is not the case and there has been change in the size or the dimension or anything else, then there is a concern that there will be delay in the production. Now, initially, all our sources for long have been saying that the limited production of the Astra Mk2 will start. What we usually call it an LSP. This was also done in case of Astra Mk1. Performance upgrade or introduces new test cycle, which is one of the concerns we are having now. If it is the same missile with some changes, then it might not require more development trial. But it has some major changes, then it will require a new test cycle. If DRDO indeed has changed the propulsion parameters or Sika algorithm to support 200 km range, it could mean additional flight trials. Anyway, this is confirmed. This additional flight trials will be required to validate the phases and the integration test with the aircraft. Now, we have to know that most of the aircraft don't have this kind of range to detect an aircraft which is 200 and 200 and above. So this has to see that there is a data link input coming from the AVAX aircraft. So this also needs to be validated. Now, Astra Mk1 development has been going on from early 2000s, so it is close to 23-24 years now. The missile has entered production, and we might see 400 to 500 missiles already been inducted in next 2 years. More than 250 have been supplied. Astra Mk2 was supposed to enter production in 2026. If anyone remembers, one of our report had mentioned that operational clearance for the missile was expected in early 2026. Now, this development means there is no clarity if the operational path or it will operationally be cleared for production this next year early, or it might take some more time to do that. Despite all the possible delays, there is a strong strategic base for pushing forward this upgrade. I will back this upgrade because 160 kilometer might not be sufficient in next 5 to 10 years. So if we are developing Astra Mk2 has an Astra Mk4 or with a triple pulse motor or has a second batch upgrade variant, we should back this program. Missiles, homegrown seeker, dual pulse motor, locally built warhead, electronics also have been validated. So whatever changes we might be incorporating in the new variant, it will be much faster. The Astra Mk2, which will have a solid fuel duct ramjet engine, uh, is still 5 years away from getting into mass production and induction. Because what we are doing is till now, what DRDO has done till now, we just captive flight trials and release mechanism trials. It has not fired a missile from an air. And if you take all the air-to-air missile programs or even our own programs, we can easily say that it will require 3 to 4 years before all the development cycle is completed. Astra Mk2 will also incorporate something called as AI. AI will be used for identification of fighters and target friend or foe, basically, at a longer distance. When you fire a missile for a long range, there's a chance that missile can be deceived. So the Astra Mk2 will incorporate technologies which are not even in meteor missile. While let's say the lack of official confirmation is actually to be deliberate. Actually, the performance and sensitive data and all might not come so soon. But keeping this data vague, the DRDO ensures an operational secrecy, making it difficult for the adversaries to plan a countermeasure. It allows flexibility. Final performance numbers can vary depending on the launch altitude, target speed, and trajectory. So when someone hears 200 kilometer, it doesn't mean every launch will hit that distance. It is a minimum envelope, not the average combat range. By withholding the technical details and how they will be achieving this, uh, we have to see for some time now that how they will be planning to do it. Whatever the next milestone for the DRDO will be to improve the seeker and ECCM capabilities, depending on the results, depending on the operational evaluation of the missile in combat, in operational development trials in combat. But that will take long time. Let's assume that the missile will enter production around 2027, followed by operational integration across IF and possible naval aircraft. So by 2030, it should become the backbone of IF in terms of air-to-air missile. Now I'll conclude the podcast. So to sum it up, the Astra Mk2 report range increased from 160 to 200 km is both exciting and is still mysterious. It signals growing confidence in India's missile technology, but also brings a new layer of uncertainty about timelines and the testing. Still, as the saying goes, better a perfect weapon later than an imperfect one now. If the Astra Mk2 delivers on its promise, it won't be another missile in the inventory. Sure, it will be a backbone for IF to come for next 20-30 years. Thanks all for the episode of Newsbeat. If you enjoyed this analysis, don't forget to follow and share. And until next time, stay informed, stay secure.